Hello, spellcasters of all shapes and sizes. My name is Chance, welcome to my spellbook, and thank you so much for tuning into the 55th episode of our first level spell series. Before we get too far ahead, I just want to say that this video is dedicated to the wonderful, fantastic mad lad, Kenny Garcia. Thank you so much for your support, my friend, and I'm looking forward to this video, and I hope you enjoy it. Today we're going to be talking about Longstrider. This spell has a couple misconceptions about it, but I'll get into that in a little bit here. Longstrider is usable by the Bard, Druid, Ranger, Wizard, and Artificer, and it is found in the good old Player's Handbook, so we should all have access to it. With that hyped up introduction out of the way, let's take a look at its mechanics. Its cast time is the standard 1 action, its range is touch, its duration is an impressive 1 hour. Its effect at a glance, target's speed increases by 10 feet. At higher levels, 1 extra target per spell slot above first, and it has the holy trinity for components, somatic, material, and verbal, meaning you have to gesture with one hand. There is a material component, if you're curious, it is a pinch of dirt, and a verbal component, which means you have to speak forth an incantation. The school is, interestingly enough, Transmutation, which kind of implies it physically changes the creature a little bit, but neither here nor there. Let's check out its full description. You touch a creature. The target's speed increases by 10 feet until the spell ends. At higher level, you cast the spell using a spell slot of 2nd level or higher. You can target 1 additional creature for each slot above first. Really interesting stuff. Honestly, this gets a terrible rep as a spell, and I can kind of see why. To be honest, upon first reading, I wasn't super impressed with it either. It seemed like something like Expeditious Retreat or a ton of other spells might have actually been better, or even just taking the dash action would be substantially better. But I got news for you, and I'll get into that into a little bit. Something I want to clarify is this is a touch spell, which means you can apply it to other people, which is really cool. It doesn't necessarily have to affect you, and that's going to be important for a little bit later. That being said, let's take a look at its alternative uses and see if we can make this spell a little bit more useful. So something else I'd like to point out. It just says speed. It doesn't specify walking speed, so it increases all your speeds by 10 feet. Check out our movement video to figure out exactly how movement works in 5e, but this is actually really good stuff. So if you're a character with a flight speed or a swim speed, or uses flying, swimming, or climbing regularly, then this might actually be quite beneficial to you or your companions if you find they use those speeds quite a bit. Something else I would like to point out, and this is actually advice from one of our patrons, Marcos G. Guzman Jr., so thank you, Marcos. If you are in a quest line where you have to escort a slower NPC, this is a great way to make it a heck of a lot easier for you and speed up that quest by quite a significant margin. I really do think this is an incredibly circumstantial spell, but I really think that circumstantially it can really come in handy if you're in a pinch. That being said, if you have any cool ideas or alternative uses for Longstrider, please put them down in the comments beneath, as well as if you have any cool stories or ideas. I'm just really curious to see what you guys have to say. That being said, I'd like to take a moment to thank our patrons, Marcos G. Guzman Jr., Reina, Tanner Frazier, Kenny Garcia, and Bruce T. Thank you so much for the support, guys. It's been unreal, and I really hope you enjoy this video. We also do the daily live streams from 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, so if you'd like to check into one of those, please do. They run every day for the most part, unless something happens technology-wise or social life-wise, and I'll update the community tab if anything like that happens. That being said, guys, thank you so much for tuning in today. I really do appreciate it. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and as always, happy casting.